That's right. If you picked up a couple of bad habits in 2016, why not learn how to correct them as we enter the new year? Mr. Manners and a good dresser as well, Thomas Farley is here to help clean up your act. Thomas, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Matt.
Let's start with one we kind of touched on at the end of last year. A lot of political debate online. It's very tempting to go online and add your 2 cents and make a comment. When do you know when it's okay to comment, and when should you stay on the sidelines?
Sure. So this is something I always tell people. Facebook is not the place for debate. Save it for sharing pictures of your grandkids. Politics, no one has ever convinced someone who doesn't believe the way you do via Facebook posts. So keep the politics off of Facebook entirely. I recommend it. If you've got a poster who's annoying you, hide them. You don't want to deal with it, and don't comment. Don't get sucked in.
It's gotten really ugly, or did get really ugly during the campaign, with a lot of people getting unfriended, getting into big fights, not only on Facebook, in the comment sections of articles, they start fighting with each other. It's so icky.
It's a rabbit hole. Once you get sucked in, there's no coming out. So steer away from it.
Okay, the one recently shared this photo on Instagram, and one of the issues, I guess, etiquette issues, is oversharing. And I mentioned that Mike Carey, I posted a picture of Debbie Reynolds and Carrie Fisher that I thought was so darling, and so I was so crestfallen and heartbroken by this. But my daughter says I clog Instagram and that sometimes I post too much. Is there such a thing as posting too much? Because I do have some offenders I follow, and they post like 6 photos, but I sometimes do 2 a day. Is that too much?
You know that expression, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all? For Instagram, I say...
Tell that to my daughter.
Yeah. That'll be another segment. Yeah. For that, I say, if you don't have anything interesting to say, don't say it at all. Now, it may be interesting to you, it may not be interesting to all of your followers. Your posts are interesting. I think you have nothing to worry about. But really, keep it to a minimum unless it's really fascinating stuff.
What about, and you've gotten involved in this one as well, what about if you go online and you read something and someone uses, grammar that's incorrect, or they misspell things? Do you correct them, or should you just stay out of that?
Nobody likes to be a grammar police, right? So this is...
I beg to differ. I know somebody.
I know, it is really obnoxious, but I also think bad grammar is really obnoxious.
It can be, but see, the key on that mug is it says, you're silently correcting the grammar.
I'm not so silent. No, I think.
So maybe take a little bit of a step back. But there's a nice way to do it. If you repeat what the person said and you repeat it correctly, that's the nice way of correcting, rather than coming out and saying that's wrong.
All right, we have time for one more.
All right, what about thank you notes? I know that a lot of people get gifts or nice things for the holidays. So what's the protocol on that these days? Is an email sufficient?
I say you want the gold standard, go for the thank you note. The one thing you don't need a thank you note for is someone else's thank you note.
Right.
But if you're a guest in someone's home, thank you gift and note.
What time
present,
limit?
Thank you note. As soon as you can, but I say never too late. And even if it's 6 months, if it's a year, I've never refused a thank you note because it was too late. So don't not do it because it's too long, has gone by.
Bryant is the best at writing
Quick
handwritten notes.
Yeah.
And I love getting them on beautiful stationery with good penmanship.
And
if you have time to use the gift, you have time to write the thank you note.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We're going to have some other tips for living in a great way in 2017. We'll put those online. Thomas, Happy New Year. Thanks very much.
And I do love your suit, Thomas.
Thank you.
It looks
Thank
nice.
you so much.